What if I told you that the life you are living right now, the person you see in the mirror, the number in your bank account, the relationships you cherish or endure, is nothing more than a shadow? A beautiful, complex, and utterly convincing projection, but a projection nonetheless. We spend our entire lives trying to rearrange these shadows. We chase the money, we seek the perfect partner, we change jobs, we move cities, all in a desperate attempt to manipulate the images on the screen of our reality. And yet we fail. Or if we succeed, the feeling is fleeting because the core problems, the feelings of lack or loneliness, mysteriously reappear in a new form. Why? Because we have it all backward. We've been taught to believe that our consciousness reacts to the world. But the mystics, the sages, and the masters of reality have always known the truth. Your consciousness doesn't react to reality, it constructs it. The world you see is not the cause of your feelings. It is the physical echo of the feelings you have chosen to inhabit. This isn't philosophy. This is physics, the physics of the soul. And when you truly grasp the mechanism behind it, you will never see yourself or your world the same way again. To understand this, you must first accept a radical premise. Everything you have ever experienced, are experiencing, or will experience exists right now as a fixed state of consciousness. Think of them as cosmic addresses, complete psychological worlds. There is a state called poverty, and within it, every thought, feeling, and circumstance is tuned to the frequency of lack. There is a state called wealth, where the feeling of abundance is the very air you breathe, and opportunities flow effortlessly. There is a state of being unloved and a state of being deeply cherished, a state of sickness and a state of vibrant health. These are not just moods, they are entire realities. You are at this very moment living inside one of these states. You identify with it through the most powerful words in existence. I am struggling, I am successful, I am lonely, I am content. Each I am is an anchor, fixing you to a specific cosmic address. You can visit other states. You might have a good day and momentarily feel wealthy, or a bad day and feel unloved. But the state to which you most often return, your dominant mental dwelling place, is what hardens into the facts of your life. So, how do we move? How do we change our address in the cosmos? The ancient scriptures held the key, but it was hidden in a word we have long misunderstood: repentance. We were taught it meant guilt, shame, regret for our past actions, but its original meaning is far more powerful. It means a radical change of mind, a complete change of attitude, not about anyone else but about yourself. To repent is to turn away from your current state, your current I am, and move into a new one. You don't beg for change. You don't hope for change. You enact it instantly by assuming the feeling of your wish already fulfilled. To desire a state is to already possess it on a higher plane of reality. And this is where our journey takes a turn into the very architecture of existence itself. We perceive the world in 3 dimensions: length, width, and depth. We are bound by this perception, and it creates a powerful illusion, the illusion of linear time. To our senses, the past is a ghost, the future is a phantom, and we are trapped in the fleeting, ever-vanishing moment of now. This sensory prison is what keeps us chained to our current reality. We believe only what we can see, touch, and measure in this present moment. But just as a 2-dimensional drawing on a piece of paper is merely the flat shadow of a 3-dimensional object, our 3-dimensional world is the shadow of a far greater 4-dimensional reality. What is this 4th dimension? It is time, but not time as a line you walk along. It is time as a landscape, an eternal, infinite now where every possible moment, every version of your past, and every potential future coexists simultaneously. You possess a faculty that can navigate this 4th-dimensional landscape. It is not your logical mind. It is your imagination. When you close your eyes and truly feel the reality of a past memory or a future desire, you are not daydreaming. You are performing an act of incredible power. You are physically shifting your consciousness to a different point in the 4D landscape. You are, in that moment, experiencing a reality that is just as real as the one in front of you. The logic is inescapable. If our 3D world casts a 2D shadow, then our 3D world must be the shadow of something greater. Your physical life is the projection of where you have been focusing your attention in the fourth dimension. This brings us to a terrifying and liberating question. If this is true, why would anyone consciously choose to dwell on thoughts of fear, worry, or negativity? Every moment spent feeling lack, every argument replayed in your mind, every worst-case scenario vividly imagined, is an act of creation. You are sending a command from the fourth dimension, instructing your 3D reality to project that very shadow. You are, quite literally, creating your own future suffering. To escape this trap, you must learn to do the opposite. You must deliberately disengage from the tyranny of your senses and focus your attention on an invisible, desired state until it feels more real than the world around you. This is not easy. It requires discipline. But it is the key to unlocking your spiritual vision, to seeing beyond the veil of the senses. And it all happens through a beautiful, mystical partnership within your own consciousness. Think of your consciousness as being divided into two parts. The first is your conscious mind, the waking mind that you're using to hear these words. This is the architect. It's personal, selective, and it generates ideas. It looks at the world and decides, I want to build a house. It decides the style, the number of rooms, the location. It creates the blueprint, but the architect doesn't build the house. For that, it needs a builder. The builder is your subconscious mind. This part of you is vast, impersonal, and unbelievably powerful. It is the universal builder. It is connected to the source of all life. It doesn't question the blueprint. It doesn't judge it as good or bad, right or wrong. Its only function is to take the blueprint it is given, and through means we cannot comprehend, manifest it into physical form. It will move heaven and earth. It will influence the actions and words of others. It will orchestrate coincidences and events, all to bring the blueprint into reality. So how does the architect hand the blueprint to the builder? This is the secret of all creation. It's not through thought alone. You can think, I am wealthy all day long, but if you don't believe it, if you feel poor, the builder receives a blueprint for poverty. The only language the subconscious builder understands is feeling. Feeling is the ink that makes the blueprint real. An idea, once truly felt, must be expressed. It is the law. A moment of intense anger, a deep feeling of gratitude, a vividly imagined success. These are not just emotions. They are creative acts. They are instructions being sent to the builder. This is why you must become the master of your inner world. Controlling your feelings doesn't mean suppressing them. It means disciplining yourself to imagine and entertain only the feelings that align with your highest aspirations. To think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize. And there is a specific, powerful technique to do this. A method for consciously handing your desired blueprint to the master builder. First, you must know exactly what you want. Not a vague wish for happiness. Be specific. Clarity is power. What would you see? What would you hear? What would you do if your desire were already a fact? Second, construct a single, short, simple event that implies your wish has been fulfilled. This is crucial. Don't imagine the moment you get the promotion. Imagine a moment asterisk after the promotion. For example, a friend shaking your hand and saying, "Congratulations on your new role." The event must imply the desire is already a solid, past reality. And you must be the central actor in the scene, not a passive observer. Third, and this is where the magic happens, immobilize your physical body. Lie down in a comfortable position and induce a state akin to sleep. That drowsy, relaxed state just before you drift off. In this state, the barrier between the conscious architect and the subconscious builder becomes thin and permeable. The world of the senses fades away. Now, with your attention focused inward, begin to loop that short, simple scene. Feel yourself inside of it. Don't watch it like a movie, live it. If your scene is a friend congratulating you, feel the grip of their hand. Hear the tone of their voice. Feel the surge of pride and relief within you. Loop it over and over like a lullaby. Feel the reality of it, the vividness of it. Persist until this imaginary sensation has all the sensory tones of reality. If you do this correctly, a deep conviction will well up within you. A quiet feeling of it is done. Then you simply drift off to sleep. This is the moment the architect hands the sealed blueprint to the builder. You have planted the seed in the fertile ground of the subconscious. Now, you let it go. Your work is done. You go about your days, living in the feeling, the assumption, that your wish is already a fact, even if your senses deny it. You have moved to your new cosmic address, and the shadows of your 3D world have no choice but to reorganize themselves to reflect your new home. Sleep is not a state of inactivity. It is the most important creative session you have. Every night, you are making a pilgrimage to the subconscious to leave your impressions and receive your instructions for the coming day. The feeling you carry into sleep sets the creative tone for the entire nocturnal period. Your last waking concept of self is the seed that will be multiplied in the dark. That is why you must never, ever go to sleep feeling angry, worried, or in a state of lack. Always, without fail, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled before you surrender to slumber. Fall asleep in the reality of your dreams. This entire journey through states, this mastery of imagination and feeling, is not just about acquiring things. It is a spiritual journey of awakening. The great stories of the Bible are not history lessons about people who lived thousands of years ago. They are a map of consciousness. Each character, Moses, Noah, Peter, Job, represents a state of consciousness that you must pass through on your journey. Moses is the state that leads you out of the bondage of your old beliefs. Job is the state of enduring faith when all seems lost. And the final state we are all journeying toward is called Jesus Christ. This is not a man to be worshipped, but a supreme state of consciousness to be attained. It is the state where you become fully conscious that you are God the Father, the creative power of the universe. You realize that you are not the body, not the personality, but the one consciousness that dreamed this entire world into being. You understand that every person, every experience was you, pushing yourself through countless states to gain the experiences necessary for this ultimate awakening. The journey began when Adam, which is all of humanity, fell asleep and began to dream the dream of life. Your life is that dream, but you are not just the dreamer, you are the director of the dream. The power to change your reality is not outside of you. It has never been. It is waiting within you in your ability to choose your state of consciousness. You are the architect of your reality. So I ask you, what kind of world are you building tonight?